your microphone and camera and stop the sharing. Yeah. And just, yeah, stop sharing so that it can see the camera.
It will, hold on.
Okay.
I think it does it anyways. But hold on. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3.
That's good.
Testing 1, 2, 3, test.
Oh,
1,
no,
2,
yes.
3.
Okay, good. Yeah.
School road. School road. School road, school road. Yeah. Can you speak?
You can still hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Is everybody?
Here you go.
Hang on,
Sorry, there is Kelsey. Is that me?
that was me.
Oh, it was.
I got it.
Panic attack.
Yeah.
No seeing the either.
Nice. Okay. I hereby call to order the April 16th, 2026 meeting of the Town of Frisco Planning Commission. Would Kim please call the attendance or somebody? Chris, Kim, anybody?
Yeah. Conley, here, Lesmus,
Here.
Forsythe,
Here.
Day,
Here.
Withrow.
Here. Great. Anybody online? Doesn't look like it. Okay, the previous planning commission meeting minutes have been distributed. If commissioners have any comments or corrections, please voice them now. Seeing none, and I have a motion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none? Okay. All right, this is a meeting of the Frisco Planning Commission. Any comments that, so we are now opening up the meeting to public comments. This is a meeting of the Frisco Planning Commission. Any comments that anyone in the audience may wish to make on a subject not on this evening's agenda may be made now. Citizens making comments should state their name and address for the record, be topic specific, and limit their comments to no longer than 3 minutes. Does anybody want to make a public comment on anything not on the agenda? Seeing none in the chambers. Anybody online, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment portion of the agenda. Okay, now we are going to open the public hearing portion. At this time, I would like to open the public meeting portion of the Planning Commission agenda. This commission is appointed and serves as an advisory board to the town council. It has certain final authority as identified in the individual staff reports. For each item on the agenda this evening, a staff report will be presented. After that, the planning commissioners will ask questions of the staff. We will then allow the applicant, if they so choose, to make a presentation. After that, the public may comment on the application. The first and only item on the agenda this evening is planning file number MODSP-26-0001, a modification to MAJ-24-005-0005 and CU-24-0001 to make modifications to the proposed building materials, number of decks, number of windows, along with other minor modifications described in the applicant's narrative. No other property details will be discussed in relation to the previously approved application. The location is 200 North 7th Avenue, Lot E2, River Pines subdivision, re-subdivision of Outlot E, replat A, River Pines. The applicant is Seth Francis, representing Blue River Real Estate Fund 4. All right.
That was a mouthful.
We'll turn it over to the staff for your presentation. Thanks, Grace.
Thanks. I'm Chris Valdez. I'm a principal planner here at the town of Frisco, for those, if anybody doesn't know me. The applicant is requesting a change to the approved plans for 200 North 7th Avenue, as detailed in the February 2026 revised plans and described in the staff memo. These updates address architectural elements that arose during the finalization of the building permit application. The proposed modifications continue to meet the town code and the property's PUD, identifying this property as mixed use. This is going to be probably a pretty quick presentation, and if the applicant wants to go into more detail, they can on the specific changes. So this is just a vicinity map showing that where it's located at 200 North 7th Avenue. And then just to give a little bit of background, the original major site plan was approved on August 7th, 2025. And it's currently under construction for 11 units. We already mentioned the other items that are on the slide. So the summary of changes, the scope of this application is narrowly focused to siding materials, decking materials, roof materials, deck and roof pitches, and the number of windows on the buildings. All modification does meet the code, but the way they are proposed, we believe it's still warranted a review by the Planning Commission, which is why you're seeing this tonight. So the applicant is requesting to replace the difficult to obtain original wood siding with LP Smart Side lap siding. It's an engineered product that mimics cedar. The new siding will be 8 inches wide and match the approved color. And staff finds it similar in appearance to the original material and consistent with the overall design intent. So this one's interesting because it's a siding modification proposal, but instead of having randomized widths of the boards, it's just going to be a standardized 8-inch wide board while keeping the same color, and the change keeps the original design intent. And then the original application specified cedar fascia siding. As we stated earlier, cedar's been hard to obtain. So the applicant now proposes that LP Smart Side fascia siding, which resembles cedar to maintain consistency with the horizontal siding. This new fascia will match the width and the color of the approved material. An image from the August 2025 application illustrates its appearance. Staff supports this change, noting that it's commonly used in town and maintains the design intent and visual consistency of the facade. The approved siding material was cordon steel. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. A weathering steel that develops a rusted finish over time. While this does give it a unique look, the rust can wash off and stain nearby siding, windows, and paved areas. This runoff may also flow into local wetlands that are adjacent to this property and on the property, and 10 Mile Creek, which is adjacent to the property. Over time, the weathering process can cause the steel to weaken and develop holes. Staff has reviewed the proposed change to corrugated metal siding. They found that this change does not affect the main design and will help the buildings last longer. The approved railing design originally featured all metal materials. The new proposal suggests replacing the metal posts with wooden ones while keeping the overall look of the railing the same. This change adds natural materials that match the building's rustic style. Using wooden posts is meant to fit in with the surroundings while still looking similar to the original metal system. Staff finds that this change does not significantly affect the original design intent and continues to support the rustic character of the structure. The approved roofing material for the 4th floor is matte black metal. The applicant proposes to replace it with GAF charcoal architectural asphalt shingles or a similar product. Matte black metal will remain on the roofs below the 4th floor. The applicant, next slide. The applicant wants to remove some of the extra decks from the original plans. So each unit will have a maximum of 2 decks, and also this slide also shows the changes in the windows, and the next 3 slides after this also show those changes. So instead of the removed decks, new roof elements will be added as shown in the submitted application, and all proposed roof lines are below 35 feet tall. So just have you take a look, like this is removing the window here. And so these are the findings that are in the staff report, and as well as I'm going to go over the staff recommended conditions. However, I'm not going to read these out loud, but let me know if you have any questions. So this is 1 and 2, 3 to 5, which are outlined in the staff report, and 6 through 8. And these are the staff recommendations and conditions. So these conditions are the same conditions that were part of the original staff report for the original approval back on August 7th, 2025. Once again, I'm not going to read all these. Some of these have actually already been met by the applicant. And then this is the recommended motion. Staff is recommending approval of the modification. And I do want to point out that the modification does not extend the approval timeline. So the 3-year limit expires on August 7th, 2028, if it's not under construction, which it kind of is, but.
Great,
Any questions?
thank you. April, any questions of the staff?
No, none for staff.
Okay, Jess, any questions?
Yeah, so I imagine Chris, there's some things that you would just review at a staff level and say, oh, we don't need to go back to planning commission. What was it about this one that you wanted to come back to planning commission on?
Number one, we had a lot of meetings on this one. We had a lot of public input on this one as well. And then they were modifying some of the decks and the architecture and the roof pitches, which I thought was important to bring back to the planning commission. Yes, the colors are remaining the same. It's different materials. Had we just been doing materials, it would not have come back.
Okay, thank you.
No questions.
No questions, Kelsey?
No questions.
Okay. I had a question, I swear. Just for the record,
Mhm.
do we have a requirement for numbers of windows?
Not, they just
Or-
have to have varied, so they're not duplicative.
Same question for number of decks? No.
Correct. We
Correct.
do not have a requirement for having the number of decks.
A question. Do you find removing the windows makes it more duplicitous?
No,
I don't know, like, does it add in more?
Yeah.
I don't know how to articulate this, like,
Right.
by removing those windows, does it make
it more,
duplicity a problem?
no, it does not.
Okay.
Okay. And then details, but like, when we're talking about the changes to the metal, I mean, I've seen the same issue with the corrugated metal about it running and rusting through onto, so I'm not sure.
I'll let
You give
the
me your
applicant
argument. Okay.
answer that.
Okay, that's fair. Great. So those are all the questions for the staff. Now, if the applicant would like to come up to the podium, state your name and walk us through. Hi, Zach. Zach?
See everyone else.
Zach.
Oh, Seth, sorry. Sorry, Seth.
Real estate. Actually, I've entered into a partnership with another development firm and building firm called Palisade Partners. They built Summit Sky Ranch. Kate Hamlin is here with me. She's actually going to present today. I think Chris covered a lot of things, but feel free to whatever we're missing.
Thanks, Kate Hamlin here with Palisade Partners. And thanks, Chris, for the thorough presentation. I really don't have much to add there. And I've brought some of the samples too, of the materials that are changing. Here is the metal. Lena, I know you had a question.
Bring it to you. Sure.
Your job is Vanna this evening.
Yes, hey, Dana.
So they.
Here, are you okay? So this way? Okay.
And this is just a imprint of a rust look, so it won't rust, similar to maybe what you've seen, which is if it's not treated and finished, if some like a raw stainless steel won't rust over this.
Do you want to walk us through the whatever was the analysis that you went through to come up with these changes?
Yeah, I mean, basically, high level as we went to finalize drawings, permit sets, et cetera, really nailed down the budgeting numbers after, reaching out to our subcontractors and looking at material procurement, et cetera. These changes really made sense to us to really, help with the overall budget of the project, but then also keeping, of course, the same quality and aesthetics.
Okay. I have other questions, but I'll let Kelsey, you go first for questions of the applicant.
I'm not sure I really have questions,
Or,
other than like, I guess mine was concerns like with that corrugated metal of how it isn't gonna rust and drip down that we've seen in other things. But no questions at this time or comments.
Candace?
Were your changes based on like project budget or material budget changes? Oh, okay.
Not for me.
Yes.
I'm just curious to hear your questions.
I was just curious about the thinking through changing the roof on the very top floor. Was there Was that also just a budget decision or was it another?
It was primarily a budget decision, but the roof being, on the highest floor, no one would be able to see it. So we felt that was an appropriate change while
Okay.
not affecting the look of the development.
And I guess two questions that maybe you can answer in one, but my first question is, are you concerned with livability removing so many windows? Same thing for the balconies. And second question would be, does this affect your price point?
No, we're not concerned with that. With the windows, yes, we did cut some out, but they weren't windows in, prime opportune areas that you would expect to see a window. And we're still happy with the amount of light and, we like to say livable, nature coming in, and the feel in the interior, of these units. And then with the deck space, these were really small decks or portions of decks, that really just weren't usable. It could maybe barely fit a chair or two. So we just reduced either the size, or the deck altogether if it really wasn't a meaningful deck.
With respect to the windows, I also, if you look at the old design versus the new design, the windows, there were a lot of them. It's very busy. There's a lot of patterns to it. I actually think with the updates, it looks cleaner, and less busy. I think it works nicer at the end of the day.
And not that it's really our purview, but does it affect your price point? The changes? No?
Yeah. Expected to.
Okay.
At the end of the day, people are looking for views, and I think all the windows are placed in, living rooms and, bedrooms and bathrooms where it can go, and I think we're, taking advantage of views, and that's what people want to see.
Got it. Great, thank you. Thank you. Okay. I will open it up to public comment. Anybody? Nope. What about online? Seeing none, closing the public comment portion of the agenda, we'll turn it over to commissioner comments. April, we'll start with you.
It seems pretty straightforward to me, so I don't really have any concerns.
Jess?
Yeah, likewise. Agreed.
Kelsey?
Yeah, I think that none of the material changes are substantial, and some of the roof and window removals and decks, actually, I'd agree with Seth, that does simplify the project, make it a little more streamlined and clean. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I'm glad to see when things are changed. Also, don't know that I would have noticed all these changes if you had never told me. So yeah, I think the changes are not material and very similar to what we approved. And if it makes your project better, then I hope that it does. Great. So with that, I'll entertain an emotion.
With respect to file number MODSP-26-0001, I move that the recommended findings set forth in the April 16th, 2026 staff report be made, and that the recommended conditions set forth therein be taken, and the Planning Commission hereby approves the request to amend the materials, colors, and architecture of the building for the development located at 200 North 7th Avenue, Lot E2, E-2, River Pines Sub, Resub, Outlaw E, Replat A, River Pines. Do I need to say the conditions? Okay.
Noted in the
Yeah.
staff report. Great.
I'll second.
Awesome.
Conley,
Yes.
Lesmes,
Yes.
Forsyth,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Withrow,
Yes.
all in favor.
Passes unanimously.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Protect those wetlands. Just kidding.
Yeah. We made them.
What's going on?
Okay.
80.
80.
Or no, that's not 80. 101? 101.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start with 101. 101 West Main, they have their construction fencing up. We are down to the construction management plan inspection. They still need the silt fencing to protect the wetlands and 10 Mile Creek, and they need to put up the screening. However, as I was saying to April and Lena earlier, that they are going through the process of getting a cell on wheels for the AT&T towers that are currently on the building.
Oh,
So you are going to be seeing that in the next couple of weeks because we don't have a temporary cell section in the Unified Development Code. So it's a special use permit for a cell facility. And we are going through and it's going to be placed in the parking spots in front of the building on Main Street.
is it getting demos? Do we have a big cheese grater party before they blow it up? I mean, like, it's been there forever.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a
So-
town party in it. Demo?
Help demo?
Oh,
I
demo
don't-
party.
I think that's.
$5 tickets.
Yeah, I'll go sit
It's
by
a
baby.
room. Yeah. WR.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it. Um,
All favor?
yeah.
That's what you did.
Do anything. I mean, I'll cheer you guys on.
You know, some rage.
Anyway, so that should be coming in soon. We do have an application. We're just working through some of the completeness elements that we need for that application, and then you should be seeing it probably the second meeting in May for that tower. And then once they get that installed, I can sign off on the demo permit, and then they can.
How
demo.
tall is the tower when it's on a?
It's going to be a 60-foot tower.
Wow, I didn't know it's that tall up there.
Mhm.
Is it that tall on the
Well,
roof?
it's 54 feet, but they only have a 40-foot pole or a 60-foot pole. So you can't, if they did I guess we're talking about an application that you
Okay,
guys are,
sorry.
yeah, so let's not do that. No. You
That
guys,
was for the one at
that's for the,
Excel pole,
yeah,
the substation.
Oh.
this is gonna be a new one you're gonna see in May, and we can talk about it at the time that the application is heard.
Okay.
No more questions?
All right, I do have a couple of staff updates for you. On May 12th, there will be a joint work session with the town council, which will focus on accessory dwelling unit policy questions and also a review of the state's required expedited permitting processes regarding affordable housing projects. And James is going to be leading that work session. So I really hope all of you can come to that work session with the town council.
I won't be able to make it,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Bummer. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully everybody else can make it. We had a follow-up with council on the concerns raised regarding Fitzrest at the last meeting, including the idling trucks. Town council is continuing to hear concerns about the idling trucks and other construction concerns. These are being handled by our public works department, our community development specialist, Kyle, essentially the code enforcement, and town council. So that's all we have on Fitzrest right now, is that we're working on it. And
Is there construction going on? Like there progress?
my understanding it is.
Yeah.
That hole is huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's so, they got lucky this year with this weather.
I know.
I
Yeah.
think the walkway has been good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've
Yeah.
definitely seen people using it and I think it's
Yeah.
been helpful.
Yeah, I've used with the Jersey barriers there.
Mhm.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So,
So, Chris,
Mhm.
and I know this isn't you, but the Public Works Department is handling it, or, how so? Like, what's the plan?
so they're looking at those trucks idling in the right of way, and if they have the ability to idle in the right of way. So do they need a right of way permit? So just that Public Works is taking care of that, because that is our right of way, not a construction staging area.
Okay, but apart from that, I mean, there's been other concerns have been raised, like, why are you closing parking and sidewalks on 3 streets for a
That I
private
don't have an answer
developer?
to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, that is at least my concern.
Yeah.
I'll second that. That was my main concern.
Like, I'm
as
not
well.
concerned about trucks idling.
Is the
Okay.
town doing parklets too?
Mhm.
I mean, like, we're gonna have nowhere to park, like, they're gonna probably do the same on the site at First and Main.
Oh,
Wouldn't you think they're gonna take well, I guess they're.
I mean,
Just
there
seems
have
like-
been other projects on Main Street that haven't needed to close the street.
But then you're gonna have the prime lofts going under construction this summer.
Right.
You have 203, then parklets. I mean, like,
Mhm.
I just think we're heading into a challenging parking season.
Mm,
And does the town have plans and signage to say, hey, here's our overflow parking? Then it's because it is detrimental to our businesses on Main Street. And it just seems like the parklet should be paused this year personally, if there's no parking
mhm.
already.
Well, I can take those concerns, back upstairs and let everybody know.
Not just like, I mean, like, cause a lot of them are just, they bring out clothes racks and this, and I guess it's a great extension of your business, but it's also like, do we want people to park and shop in your business too? I don't know. I just think we're gonna have a big parking problem.
Yeah, and then I just have a follow-up question. I did get a letter from them, like I live right next to that development, and said they're gonna close 5th and 6th for their concrete, for pouring concrete,
Okay.
just intermittently throughout the year.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, really? So
huge
it's just
too.
like,
I don't
it's just like the
know.
whole thing
Yeah.
keeps, it just spills, it just seems excessive.
Yeah, I can, relay your comments, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've. And I know I understand this isn't you, but we don't mean to take it out on you, but like, I've heard lots of people come to the meetings, talk, we've brought it up a couple times and just kind of seems like, okay, the walkway was created, appreciate that, but.
I mean, they're coming up Summit Boulevard through all of the neighborhood to go up to 6th to position correctly. I'm like, that project is way over here and their reach has become a
Mm,
lot of the town. Like, and I think the idling starts when they go onto 6th Avenue on the hill and they just park there with, you know, their
Mhm.
big trucks positioned perfectly for the project, but it is a lot of
And that's just
use of town streets and
use of the town
Yeah.
right away, which is public.
Mhm.
As a comparison, the Galena Street project stayed within the confines of its property.
Most projects do. And I
Yeah.
understand.
Fences.
And I do
Yeah.
understand that this one really was going to property lines, so maybe there was like exceptional circumstances on this one, but 3 does seem excessive. Are they renting that from the town or are they getting that for free?
I don't know.
'Cause that would be a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
And if it was approved by mistake, which is kind of what
Seems like it was.
seems like it was, and the mistake can be undone.
okay,
I don't know.
I will find out for you. So,
At least we have a new thing about Fifth Rest to ask about.
yeah.
Now, we was talking about the crowd on Forest Avenue.
Yes.
So
Excited for
we've moved on to a new issue.
Yeah.
It-
Historic
cool,
over there.
yeah.
It's such a cool project and it's
Yeah.
cool to see it come together, but it's pretty interesting
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
in its current state.
Well, and I feel like public right of way, especially that sidewalk and parking on 3 streets should not be part of a construction management plan for a private developer.
Okay.
I just, and I guess I just don't want that to happen again if we have to live with this.
Okay,
Like,
I just think, you know, we have a lot of other big projects coming on Main Street and.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's that stage for the next.
it really hit different. Like I was on Main Street and I was gonna make a left onto 6th and one of their trucks was there. And so between them taking up all the parking and having a truck, you literally can't even make a left.
Yeah, right.
You know,
It's
like
hard to get
they
in.
they take the entire street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
I don't know too, maybe like a temporary stop sign might be needed at that 4-way. It's like just you cannot see.
Yeah.
And then you have big trucks or camp, and we're getting into camper season where big campers park in small parking spots and we don't ever want to be like, wait until somebody gets hurt. It's just like, can we mitigate it in front of somebody
yeah,
getting
we
hurt?
allow like daytime parking on Granite in like certain areas or.
Cause you know in the
Think
summer,
about-
it'll be parked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
gonna
not a
be-
bad idea.
Okay.
If we can do that.
On 8 staging,
Yeah, that's their staging.
like, can we just say that's your staging area? Not public right of.
like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
depends on what was approved in the permit, because if they are building up to the lines and their construction management plan had approved town right of way, like,
Then they're.
they're approved.
Yeah.
They're like, I think that was part of their building, but if it wasn't, to your point, then like maybe hold their feet to the fire a little bit more, and see what other options they can come up with.
I mean, I guess I would take that further if it was approved and we didn't anticipate this level of disturbance in the entire town. I've been at a couple meetings and the public has said, hey, can you please fix this? This is a big intrusion. You can fix it. You can undo whatever it is that you did.
All right, the last update is that if anyone has questions on the Exit 203 project with CDOT, Josh, the Public Works Director, is the go-to for the town on knowing the construction process the best. He's the best person to contact right now, and I can connect you with him if you have any questions.
Is it true that it's just like underground work this year?
I don't
I
know.
can connect with Josh. You have that.
Yeah,
I do think there needs to be like maybe slightly more discussion about it, like publicity.
oh, like letting the people know it's coming?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think there's been, this is coming, but with Swan closed and our Main Street projects, I feel like there's a lot happening, and so just
Okay.
making sure that it's over communicated, I think
Okay.
will be helpful.
Frisco's gonna be fun to drive around in.
Summer, or fun.
Do we read the
Walking.
medians? Prices are pushing everything up here.
I think Granite Street got shelved, right, for a while.
Mhm.
How's the other project coming on Galena?
602 Galena,
Mm-hmm.
they're making great progress. It's up, and as Lena said, they're doing great construction management and
Yeah.
Looks very clean on.
yes,
If like every
yeah.
time I walk by, I'm like, they're doing a pretty good job keeping their
Yeah.
site tidy and.
And the same contractors that are doing 602 are gonna be doing 101 West Main. I will say, if we've ever had a complaint and we've talked to them, they've cleaned it up right away. They've taken care of it, so they've been very responsive. Yeah,
Can you remind me, is it like 50 units in each?
54.
54,
Sorry.
no, that's okay. Yeah, and I think,
40.
no, I think it's
It's like
52 and.
Just roughly 100.
Mhm.
Okay. A lot of people have asked me that, and I've made up a lot of numbers.
Do we know, like, when what's their projected completion?
For 602. I don't know what their projected completion is, sorry.
And do they know their rent figures yet?
That is a James question,
Okay.
yeah.
100%.
You're getting a lot of, I don't know from you tonight, so.
Do you know what time the joint work session will start on May 12th? Do you have?
The agenda is not done yet, but probably 4 or 4:30.
Okay.
Mhm.
One more question
Mhm.
for the people that have reapplied to be on the planning commission. But
Well, that's actually a good
your
question.
turn.
Yep,
We are taking that to council right after the work session on May 12th.
we say on May 12th?
No. Like, this is interesting, but yes, we're taking it on the 12th just for them to reappoint all of the people on that.
And when is the new council?
They are coming in. I think they're being sat at the next April meeting, end of April.
So before that.
Yeah, so you will be meeting, you'll be having your work session with the new council, and there's only one new member. Yeah, one change. Yeah. Is that good?
There's interviews.
No, everybody, we're just recommending, staff's just recommending that the 4 people that reapplied or reappointed.
Cause last time they were interviews, not that I wanted to interview, that's good, okay.
Will be submitting your applications with the staff report.
Got it,
Hopefully it's just easy peasy.
okay.
Great.
Any other updates or comments or questions? Seeing none,
Motion to adjourn.
second, oh, I don't get to do that. Oh, no, I do, whatever. Any opposed? Seeing none, we're done. You made 85.
We do it 101.